Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in mired in a brutal stretch right now. Losers of 8. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. But they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Oh, what a juke into space. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
There we go. Waiting.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And incomplete to open things up. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
Wentz now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intent.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now it's Ajayi. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 21 carries, 92 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game. Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Wentz now on 1st down. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the...
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Caleb Brantley in there to drop him for a loss on the play. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out now come the Vikings. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time. Second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can drive as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. 120.
They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now a play fake. Wentz. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Go. Ladies.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. There the Eagles are back within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. On the return, it's McKenzie. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 14-10 the score. And we're back to Philadelphia after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third and long, it's Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
All right, here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Gallup, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. One play, two plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Carlson now to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field, and he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 54 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates his way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
That's complete, right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, it's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
And they've stopped them on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense, because if they stop them here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game.
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Harkey adds the extra point, and it's now 21-17. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The play fake. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my...
And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Parkey with the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
They'll drop to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
And they'll go on the ground. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They're going to look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The result, a 1st down as the quick slant gets him 14. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action.
All right, here we go. Green,
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Points the target, and he has it over the middle. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll set up a throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll look to throw here. The quick slant caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. They'll throw now on the final play. And he gets it into the end zone with no time left in the 2nd quarter as they take the lead. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own? Or maybe the analytics coach got involved. And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in and there on the final play of the 1st half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. So we've reached halftime in a wild 1st half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears. as they'll square off with the New Orleans Saints. Later in the afternoon, one of the games to spotlight will be at Ford Field in Detroit, where it'll be the Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and that'll bring up second down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
You got 4. Here we go. 120. What's your son?
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there at 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 120.
This is Ajayi. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Go. Ready. What's your son?
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss up 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And an alley to run. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They run again with Breida. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go!
They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of his NFL thing pretty quickly.
Have 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Throwing is Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 7. From midfield, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Looking to throw. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And incomplete here on third down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you can get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
20.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. Now Wentz throwing on second down. It's caught by Aguilar. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they worked on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
No gain, and it's second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, 4th quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Set. Blue landed.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Boyd, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And his throw is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Here we go. Back.
Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Shotgun now for Wentz. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Hang in there now. Here we go. Waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Here we go. Waiting.
They run again with Ajayi. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 20.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Wentz going to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5 quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Now Wentz, and lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And on the ground they go with a running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey from 8 yards out. And the Eagles are back within a score. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
There we go. Back man. 20.
Wentz now to throw. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Here's Wentz to throw. Shakes off the sack. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Oh, spinning away. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Wow, so they had an incomplete pass. There they go out of bounds on the run. Virtually no time off the clock for the first 2 downs.
And there's no way that's part of what they practiced in OTAs, mini camp, preseason camp, all the way through the season. You go through these scenarios and you work on them, and you have periods in practice that you say, okay, this is what the scenario is. This is what we need to get done. You've got to take time off the clock. That's what you've practiced. That's what you've worked on. They didn't get it done.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run the option right here on 1st down. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll get this up to about the 40. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run with Foreman. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Only a 1-yard gain, but good enough to just about finish this one off.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's a second win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.